It's you and it's me. And it's the fun of the team on another Siser After Dark. Super excited. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another Siser After Dark. Another fun live that we get to do here to show you and teach you a thing or two and have some fun together. Let me move my water here. I'm already getting started. I'm a mess today. So we got a lot going on in the room. If you guys are hearing any weird audio noises or anything like that, you let us know right away. We've got a fan going out in the main area just to keep it cool in here because you know what? When we're cooking up incredible designs, it gets a little bit hot in here. And plus we have a heat press at 305 degrees. You guys know the story. But anyways, hey everyone, my name's Patrick Ali. I'm the lead educator here at Siser. We're hanging out for another After Dark. And today you guys have asked time and time again. Well, we're getting to it. We're going to show the car show effect. We're going to show one of Kortez's awesome designs that you guys have seen featured on our jerseys. You guys have asked me on past After Darks. You said, Patrick, how do we do the car show effect? How do we do that jersey? How do we make this? Well, we're going to make that today. Now, I will tell you this. We're going to put it on a t-shirt. So we're going to do just the basic across the chest version of this. So there's two different versions. We have one that are for t-shirts, one that are for the jerseys. Secondly, what I'm going to do, though, is we'll hop into Leonardo in this live as well, and I'll show you how to actually create and split that jersey design inside Leonardo Design Studio. Now, for anybody out there that's using Cricut, Design Space, or Silhouette Studio, you'll be able to do the exact same thing. We're going to do the exact same workarounds to actually get that split and then add those pieces back to obviously make a really, really incredible finished garment, just like we have on those awesome jerseys. But nonetheless, we're going to use a method that you just can't get with things like DTF and screen print and sublimation. We're adding texture, we're adding depth, we're adding some dimension, we're adding a really fun finishes to this design. So thank you so much to our buddy Kortez for whipping this up and making something that we all here at Siser and you guys over in the comments have just been really excited for. So we're really excited to show you it. So we're going to hop into Leonardo Design Studio. And what I'm going to do for you to begin is we're going to actually show you the different layers of this design. Okay, I want to show you what each of those layers look like and why each of those layers are the way that they are set up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use the text tool in Leonardo, and we're just going to create our own. So if you're watching at home and you're dual monitoring, you got two screens going, double screen action and following along, you're going to be able to actually create this right along with me so that once you get to the point of actually making your own, you'll hopefully be happy, comfortable, and confident to knock it out. But first, right before we hop into Leonardo, you guys, you know, there's a person in here that he's a road warrior with me. I mean, he is no matter what. Especially if Anna and Emily are just hanging out at Anna's house. He's always here. He's hanging out with me behind the comments. It's Assault in the Syllables, the grammatical gatekeeper himself. It's our very own Adam Sneath. Say what's up, Adam.
What's up, Adam?
Nice. I like that. I like that. Very cool. And we have a ton of people watching at home. In particular, Anna is at her house right now. I know she's in the comments, so ask any questions. We got Adam here. We got Anna here. We got Emily, Anna's friends here. Thank you for coming back. We appreciate that you want to learn more from me. Thank you. But anyways, besides the point, you got a bunch of people in here. I know that there's some other Siser folks. I think Kortez, if I'm not mistaken, didn't I see Kortez pop in too? Adam, did you see him? Perfect. So if you got questions about this direct or there's certain things that you're not understanding, you got Kortez himself is sitting in the comments ready to answer away. So let's have some fun. We ready to have some fun, Adam? All right, let's do this. So first we're going to hop into Leonardo Design Studio. And you guys already know how the actual shirt, what the shirt looks like. But there's a few different layers that actually go along with making this shirt or this design look the way it looks. So I'm going to go right down the list of products that we're going to be using. We'll add those in here as well so that once you're on the replay, if you are watching right now, you're watching on after, or you're hanging out over on YouTube later on, you'll be able to kind of stop at this point. So layers are really simple. This is a simple 4-layer design. Okay, there's 2 layers that are identical, and then there's 2 layers that are different that make up other parts of this design. So the first layer we're going to be working with is going to be this black layer. This is going to be our Strip Flock Pro. What this does is it lays down an awesome base layer onto our shirt so that we don't have any puckering or we don't have any a whole lot of shrinkage of our actual shirt to be able to take on this design. The other thing is too, with a product like Puff, which is going to be our next layer in our metallic puff, is typically puff. What it tends to do on the backside of your garment is kind of curl that around, which gives it that illusion of puffing. But then there's also some puff that comes up off of the surface as well at the same time. So we're going to be using strip flock to hold the foundation of our design. We're going to be using our Easy Puff Metallic, and this can be in either color, but silver, what we're using today, will be our Easy Puff Metallic layer, and this will add that texture, that depth to the design itself. The next layer that we're going to be using that's indicated in red here on screen is going to be, what did I do? Is Anna already griping? Hold on. We're going to answer questions as they go. What does she need?
Well, first, what's up with the binder clip on your hat?
Okay, so I put it on in case somebody needed a clip today. That was really it. Seriously, I just had it on. So do you want me to take it off? Is she telling me to take it off?
Not really. Just wondering what the deal is.
I just, it's just the binder clip. I was feeling it today, and it felt like me. Let's get back into what we're talking about. All right, we're distracted now. Everybody's gonna start laughing at us. All right, so the next layer, we've gone through our strip flock layer, we've gone through Easy Puff Metallic layer, and now we are on to our electric layer. So what this is going to be is our Easy Weed Electric. We're going to be using red for this color layer, and this is what we're going to be placing on top of our Easy Puff layer, which is going to give us that metallic or that really fun sheen of the actual design itself. And then the last thing we're going to be using is one of our holographic pearl layers as a contour outline to this design itself. Now, there's a couple moving pieces to this, so I want to take this step by step in Leonardo, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we'll weed it out so you can see all the layers actually out on the table, and then we'll take it over to the heat press. So for my first layer, we're just going to simply add the word, let's do Siser. Let's do Siser just to make it simple. And we're going to use a simple, different font than what was used here, just so I can actually break down each layer and we can see them all in real time. Okay. So what I'm going to use is my first layer will be my strip flock layer. Okay. And we'll keep these kind of in order by themselves. And I'll change the color of this layer to that black so that they're 1 for 1. Okay. Now my strip flock layer itself and my electric layer are both the exact same size. Okay, so this layer, it can be cut the same way, or cut both identically. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to be able to add in our Easy Puff Metallic layer. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to simply duplicate, which we can either use the hotkeys Control C and V, or if you're a Mac user, I want to say, Adam, are you a Mac user at home? Is it Command C and V for that Mac?
Yes, it is.
Okay, commands. Thank you. That was a very official. Yes, it is. Thank you. So yeah, Command C is what it is for Mac then. All right. Thank you. So this one right here will duplicate our layer, and then now that we have this layer done, what we need to do is we need to create what's called an inset. So typically, what you would do on what's an offset is you would build a contour away from your design. What we're doing for this one is we're actually building a contour within our design. So we'll click on our word that we want to build our contour. We're going to come down to our Build Contours tool, which is available in Leonardo Design Studio Basic or Pro. And then what I like to do for my own brain, just because I like to be able to see what I'm doing, is I'm just going to zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to keep the print and cut logo option on. And here's the reason why. As I'm adding that inset, I can physically see the line itself. If I use an editable contour, as of right now in Leonardo, you can't really see that line behind your front layer. Okay, so I'm going to keep it as print and cut for the time being, and I'm going to create this layer just slightly smaller. And Kortez, you can give the official measurement if there's a inset amount that you did, but for this one, I'm going to keep it to -0.114 inches. And then now that I have my inset, which you can see by my print and cut line, I'm going to then change that to an editable contour. I like to personally change the color of that contour only because when we get to the next step, it's easier to see both layers. And then I simply want to bring that smaller layer to the front. And there's a reason for that. Because once I hit apply, what you'll see, oops, I should probably have hit include holes too. Sorry, guys. Always make sure that you hit include holes. 0.114, done. Add that into an editable contour, include holes. So now we have our cavity showing. Now what I'm going to do is the same thing. I'll change that color of that smaller layer. I'm going to bring it to the front of my design and hit apply. So now you can see here I have my main cut file, and I have what is going to be my metallic puff layer. Okay, so what I can do from here is I can take that main cut file or that main text that I used, and I can now just erase that. And then we'll change these colors the same so you can see the order of all of this. There we go. So now I have my strip flock layer done, which is my base layer. We now have that easy puff metallic layer, which is going to be that rounded contour and give us that real cool 3D effect. And then we also have our easy weed electric layer, okay? So the next step is really simple. I can do one of two things. I can either keep these two layers together, and here's just a little trick that you can use, because what we're doing now for this bottom layer, which is going to be our holographic pearl, is we're going to actually be able to create an outbound contour, but just an outline of our text or of our design itself. Okay, so with that, what I can do is I can actually duplicate this layer that I created, and I'm just going to bring it down here, and now I can use a really simple one-click tool in Leonardo, come down to my weld options, and then simply hit remove front. And now I have my outline. And let's actually change the color of that to the color that we'll use for this outline. There we go. And now I have my outline that I've created. So in order, let me just remove that background there. In order, we have our strip flock layer here. We have our easy puff metallic layer, which we need to change that. There we go. We now have our easy weed electric layer, which is going to add the sheen. And then we also have our contour layer, that outline layer as well. What's Kortez talking, right? Is he, okay, there we go. So you do negative 0.08. Perfect. Thank you, Kortez. I appreciate that. All righty. What kind of questions do we have? So we can hop into the next step.
I got, well, one right here. Can you show how to do the outline again?
The outline itself? Yeah. Yeah, let me show that really quick. So let me go ahead and I'm just going to eliminate this. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to basically take this same text, so I can use the same vector part of my design that I have as my strip flock layer. I'm just going to add a copy of that. And then what I can do is I can just duplicate my easy puff metallic layer and make a copy of that. I can go ahead and add those both together. So I'm just aligning them using C and V, so that'll align both horizontally and vertically. And then what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to highlight both, and then I'm going to hit that remove front, which will then add my outline itself. Sorry, I didn't align those perfect, but that'll add my outline itself. Did that make sense that way? Breaking it down? Okay, cool. What other questions do we have in there?
Here's one from a little earlier.
Yeah.
Not really a question, but I think it's important to address, from Carol. I thought you couldn't layer puff on top or under anything.
Ooh, that's a really, really great question. So here's the thing. There's two things that are kind of happening. Number one, we're encasing that easy puff metallic, but also we're laying it over on top of, it's a top layer to a product that we can layer on top of. So when we lay down that strip flock layer, we can apply something to the top of that, which you guys have seen with the layering strip flock projects that we've been doing. And then what we're doing is we're also encasing that design, and we're making contact then with the actual fabric or that bottom layer, which is layerable. So we're kind of like encapsulating that itself. Cool? Is that good?
Yeah.
I want to make sure I explain it the right way.
For sure. And one way I kind of put it in the comments is that you can break the rules if you do it the right way.
Yeah, that's actually really good. Yeah, see, salt in the syllables, grammatical gatekeeper right there. Yeah, that's a really great way. You can definitely bend the rules a little bit, but again, you got to kind of pay attention to the pieces. So what you'll see with this design itself, as we kind of show in here, but it'll be more practical when I show you on the overhead, is that each layer, other than the metallic puff, is actually touching the strip flock. So that easy weed electric layer is going to be touching the strip flock. So that's layerable, which again, will just kind of encapsulate the puff, but also give it enough room to grow itself. So let's hop into, how about we start weeding some stuff? And I'm really only taking you guys to the weeding process just because, number one, I pre-cut these to save you guys some time today, but also that's the most satisfying part, I think, about a lot of these. Give me 1 second here. Snooze that. Okay. So we have all of our layers. So right now I'm going to put these in order. This is our strip flock layer. Okay. This right here is our easy puff metallic layer. Then we have our easy weed electric layer. And then after that, we're going to use our firelit pearl holographic layer. So let's just go ahead and start weeding these out. And while we're weeding these out, has anybody had an opportunity to check out the latest YouTube video where we kind of go over the cutter comparison of all three, whether the Cricket, Silhouette, and the Juliet? All righty. While we're doing this, too, what other questions? Do we have any other questions coming in, Adam?
So Kortez did already answer this one,
Okay.
but I feel like it's good to bring up. So you're using the puff to add dimension to this design.
Yep. So we're using strip flock to add a little bit of, we're adding strip flock first to add a foundation to our entire design. Then we're adding the metallic puff, which is going to give us the depth or dimension of our design. Then we're using that Easy Weed electric layer, which is now going to give us that metallic finish that we're looking for, and also encapsulating that metallic puff layer. And then finally, we're just kind of adding the accent, which I will say for anybody out there that wants to skip it, you don't necessarily need to have the outline done. I think as Kortez originally made it, I think it just makes it look a lot more complete and it looks a lot cleaner to me. So let me see, because I might have, nope, I did it right. No big deal, Adam. I was just making sure that I had good cut settings on here. I was like, oh no, I did one of these. I think that's a little fun fact or a little secret that I don't think a lot of people know, but I know Anna gets anxiety in the room about it, and probably so does Adam. I typically only make one cut of everything for lives. And I know that's horrible for me to say, but I just trust the process, guys. That's all it is. You just got to trust yourself. As Anna's probably saying right now, I don't trust him. I get it. I get it, kid. I get it. All right. What other questions do we have?
Will this process work well on a hat?
Ooh, that's a really great question. I believe, actually, Kortez can answer that if he's done it on any hats. But I mean, this, because you're adding that layer of strip flock as your foundation, this would probably work beautifully on a hat. So there's our next layer right there. Oops, let me get these both in frame for you guys. So there's our strip flock layer. That right there is our metallic puff silver layer. Adam, will you just Teams me really quick to add these in post? Add the names of the materials on the post edit. So I'm going to add those before we put the YouTube video out. Got it. Thank you. All right. I'm going to add those into the video. So if you are replaying right now, they should be displayed on screen somewhere for you. But if you're live, you get to see it live, which is fun. All righty. So this right here is our electric layer, which you can see now is in red. And then the very, very last layer, again, is going to be that firelit pearl holographic layer. Let's go ahead and weed all that out.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Do the layers increase the thickness and therefore the stiffness of the design?
That's a really good question. So the answer to that is simply yes. It does add a little bit of stiffness to the design. That's why when people see the jerseys, they love the jerseys and they all love the shirts too. But it does add just a little bit of weight to the to your garment. So be prepared for that. That is one thing that I will say is possible. But again, for this type of method, honestly, as we talk about, you know, how and what the use cases is for a lot of these, honestly, for a bag, this would show a company, a cheer team really well, baseball team, something like that really well, or for a larger, or I mean, a heavier fabric like a hoodie, this I think would be an awesome option for too. So whether you're looking to incorporate this as just for you personally, or you guys have businesses and are looking for new ways to create designs and products and offer something to your audience, you guys make sure that you're taking some of these methods and at least trying them out. See how you like them. All righty. So now we have our outline layer. So here's basically the entire in order from our strip flock in white. Then we have our Easy Puff metallic. We then have our electric, which has an awesome finish to it. And then we also have that firelit holographic pearl as well. So with that said, we're going to lay down our not Easy Puff, sorry. I'm ahead of myself, my own brain. We're going to lay down our strip flock layer. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and we're going to lay down that Easy Puff metallic. Now here's where you can really see on camera all of that white contour that's exposed. That's actually the same, remember, that's the same size contour as the electric. So once we add that electric layer, we're going to be covering up all of that white space, but it's also going to be making contact between the electric layer and the bottom layer, which was that Strip Flock Pro. And then for our final layer, how we're going to do this is we're just going to apply this right on top and heat apply this for a short time as well. So this is going to be the entire design, 4 different colors or 4 different layers all together for you. So I think what it's time for, if we don't have any questions, we'll go to questions really quick if we do. If not, we'll hop over to the heat press and we can do some application.
There is one. I think you basically just covered it though, but since the Strip Flock and electric layer are the same size, how does the outline work?
For which part of the outline? For the holographic pearl outline, or for how does it mend together?
Maybe if you could just go through how it mends together again.
Yeah, for sure. So break this down one more time. Yeah, for sure, I can do that. All right, so let me go ahead and go backwards. Sometimes, as they say, you got to go backwards and go forwards. All right, and then let me bring this back on the overhead. So the first layer, and actually I'll lay this out in the same order that I did in Leonardo, so now you can kind of compare if you are building this in Leonardo right now in real time, and you can kind of see everything together. Okay, so the first layer is our Strip Flock, and the third layer is our metallic, right there. Or, I'm sorry, our electric. This layer and this layer are both the exact same size. So this layer will cover up, our electric layer will cover up our Strip Flock layer 1-to-1, so you won't have any borders or any space, okay? So when we lay down our inset, remember we made that inset with the metallic puff layer, what you'll see as I'm laying this down, you can see all of this white border of the Strip Flock behind the metallic puff. So when I actually allow this to puff up a little bit and I put down my Easy Weed electric layer, that now is bonding not with just the puff, which it does have a little bit of bond. When we say things aren't layerable, it doesn't mean that the adhesive won't stick. It means the longevity sometimes can be a little bit, it's the longevity sometimes can be jeopardized. But if we do it, as Adam said, the right way, that we can kind of cheat it, where that electric layer and that Strip Flock layer are actually, those are the ones that are mended together. And then for the actual outline itself, this just kind of fits on the edge because we have that metallic puff layer. We're going to puff it in one press, but we're going to do a quick tack for the second press because remember, the third product that we're using is an Easy Weed product, so we can do kind of a 1 second or 2 second tack on that. And then once we lay down our outline, that's when we'll allow the puff really to puff through. The outline will kind of press everything down and seal everything all in one. Encapsulate, as the kids say, I think. I don't know. My kids have a bunch of new terms. So any other questions that we have?
Why not just use the metallic puff?
Ooh, that's a really good question. You can just use the metallic puff, but in this case, if we want a red or we want a purple or we want a yellow, whatever metallic color you want, gives you variety in your design itself. And using the actual metallic, we're only really using the metallic puff itself because it's that 2-step application. Remember, with a regular puff, it's only a 1-step application. So if we were to puff it once and then we were to heat apply it again, it doesn't really hold its weight basically in the puff. It will start to thin out and wear. Whereas the metallic, because it has those metallic, that metallic element to it, it holds a little bit more structure to the overall puff. So when you do heat apply it, it just makes it a little bit easier to have that dimension. And then the electric is just whatever color you decide. But if you want to take a little weight off the garment, you can 100% just apply the Easy Puff metallic directly to the top. But again, your color palette is a little bit more limited. All righty, ready to go? All right, let's do this. Let's heat apply something today. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these. All righty. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just taking my shirt, and I got this real close up today so you guys can see everything that I'm doing. I knew Emily was watching today, so I really wanted to make sure that we present ourselves well today. There we go. All right. I'm just going ahead really quick and doing a quick press. As you guys know, I'm just pressing a little center line in the middle of my shirt, so it's going to be a lot easier to actually put on the heat press and do what I need to do. I'm going to actually put that right about there. I'm going to take my full design. So I have my entire design right now all together. And what I'm simply going to do is I'm going to put that in place so it's in the center or where I need it to be. Okay, and this is my entire design stacked up. So what I'm simply going to do is I'm going to take all the layers but the bottom layer, tear those off, and now I know that I have perfect placement, and I know that when I go back with my other layers that everything's going to line up the right way. So for the strip flock layer, we're going to apply 305 degrees, and we're going to do about 7 to 8 seconds or so. Okay. And the only reason we're doing about 7 or 8 seconds is we don't necessarily want it to be down permanently, but we want it to be on the garment and attached to the garment enough so it's not going to give us any problems in between layers. But also pressing each of these layers for the full time, we also want to make sure that we're not shrinking the shirt anymore, because that'll also can be problematic when we're layering each piece of our design. So we have our strip flock layer, which is the bottom layer that we talked about. The next layer we're going to be using is going to be our Easy Puff Metallic. And again, this is in silver, and it kind of just fits right inside of our strip flock portion of our design. Perfect, perfect. Now for this one, because it's a two-step application with the metallic puff, I'm actually going to heat apply this for about 10 seconds, about 7 to 10 seconds or so, somewhere in there. And the reason being is that because we have that two-step, I'm going to be able to use the metallic puff as a flat surface, so I'll be able to cover it up with my electric layer. But then once I press that or apply that electric layer, it'll start to puff up for me a little bit more. And then once I get that outline layer down, that's when it's really going to come off the garment itself. So what we're going to do is just let this cool for a minute, because that is the one thing I will say, if this isn't a question already, and we'll just let that one cool. Same rules apply that of how to apply our materials or all of our application methods that are available on the Siser NA website or by using the mobile app. So with metallic puff, it's a warm to cold peel product, preferably a cold peel product, because we're working in a different environment than just flat on a garment, and we're actually layering this product. We should take a little bit extra TLC with this one. So I'm going to let it sit a little longer, let it cool off a little bit longer so we can get a good peel and then move on to the next layers of our design itself. Okay, so that's pretty cool to the touch, but I'm still going to be cautious when I'm peeling it off. Just going to slowly roll it, and if I notice that any piece of it is lifting up, that adhesive will be tacky enough to lay down. So there, right there, is now my metallic puff layer. It's kind of taken on the color of the shirt, but there you go. You can see now the white outline and that metallic puff layer really, really well. And so now with the Easy Weed electric layer that we're going to be using in red, right there, this is now going to make contact with the strip flock around the border of this design, and that'll kind of seal in, again, that puff, at least for a starting layer. And then we're going to come back and we're going to cover everything, again, with that outline layer that we created too. So because it's an Easy Weed product, I don't have to heat apply it for very long. But when I start getting to my electric layer, I do want to use some kind of cover sheet just to start protecting each layer of my design. And then also, sometimes when we're using these heat presses, you know, we get a little adhesive on them, and we just want to make sure that we don't lift that piece of our design, which can kind of jeopardize the overall outcome of what we're trying to accomplish here. Okay, so just a slow rolling. And as you can see, because I'm only using the 1 to 2 second tack, ooh, you got like no light on that one. Sorry, guys. There we go. And as you can see, because I'm using the 1 to 2 second tack right now, number one, you'll see some of the border a little bit, but we're going to cover that up with the outline. But also you're going to see that this isn't necessarily puffed all the way yet. So let's actually go ahead and add our last layer. And now this is where we'll heat apply this whole design for the full time. And this is basically sealing every piece of the design in, making it really, really easy for us to have that beautiful finish once we actually take off this carrier for the final time. All right, that looks good, that looks good, that looks good. I'm going to cover this up once again. And now we're going to let the heat press and let all of our layers of our design kind of do their job. And now what we're doing in real time is that metallic puff is starting to lift. The Easy Weed electric is starting to bond down to the shirt, and so is that outline. So it's giving us a really, really great seal to our whole design, which will give us a beautiful puff. Oh, yeah. All righty. Let that cool for 1 second here, and we'll go on the overhead. Just letting that cool off. You got any cut? Oh, you're about to ask a question. I saw your hand on the button. What's up?
Question from Libby. She loves the first 2 layers together. Could she just leave it at that and kind of be done with the design?
Oh, 1000%. Yeah, 100%. You can stop this at any part of the process. Honestly, if you wanted to just do the strip flock layer and then like an outline layer, you can totally do that. It's totally up to you. And then the color selection is your choice as well. This one, just because it's one that Kortez had created, obviously for Siser, that's why it's all red and branded. What's
up? One more. How much time was that last layer?
The last layer I applied for right around 10 seconds. Because I'm making contact with each of those layers for a few seconds, I just want one final press to kind of seal everything in. So I did it for 10. You guys can do it for 12 if you feel more comfortable, but let's get a good peel. Ba, 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 ba. We need like cool epic music for these. Look at that. That looks so awesome. I think that turned out really, really nice on there. Can we get some hearts? Can we get some love for the car show design itself? Cool. And then I also did this one as well here, which is just on a bag. So you know what, Adam, this is the thing. Anna's, she's on there right now, so she can yell at me later if she wants. I don't think we've given away our stuff in a long time. So I think what we do for these two, let's, does the giveaway tool work on the pre-recorded? Do we know?
I don't know. I can try.
Can we try? Let's see if we can set that up. If we can set that up, we're going to do a giveaway. We're going to give away not only the tote bag, which has the Siser design on it, like that, and we're going to give away the shirt. Now, to clarify, shirt is a small, but we're going to give away both of these together. Yeah, let's do them together. Let's just give them away together, because if the shirt for whatever reason in your size, you got an awesome tote bag and give the shirt to somebody fun, but also at the end of the day, give it to your favorite crafter because they love their brand Siser. All right. Will it let you?
It looks like it's going to work, so we can go ahead and pick a.
Let's do.
Pick a word.
Let's do a quick little giveaway right now, and then we'll wrap it up. Is Anna yelling at me through you right now?
She said it before you did, actually.
Oh, did she say it in the comments? She beat me to it. Fine. All right, we're not doing a giveaway anymore. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So let's do. You pick the keyword out. Dealer's choice. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
All right, let's do shiny because it's so shiny.
Okay, shiny. I like shiny.
Unless you have a better one.
No, shiny. Shiny. Is that how you spell it?
Yep.
Yeah. See, I could have entered this contest myself. Nice. Yeah. Let's do shiny. So let's let Adam get. Hold on. Don't everybody type away just yet. Let Adam get the keyword in, because it won't count if you don't wait till he gets it in and sets it up. So let him set it up really quick. Oh, Patrick Boyle. Hey, PB. All right. So right now, from this point on, we're going to give you guys like 30 seconds. Start spam commenting the word shiny, and then we'll pick a winner. But to be shiny. Oh, do I don't know if I have it anymore. So I was going to just do the wheel over here. Then I can put it on screen for him. Let me see. I've sent it to Steph before, but I don't know if I have. There we go. Giveaway tool. Giveaway page. Okay. Oh, never mind. You've already done, I would have had to do the keyword from here too. That's all right. You can come plug in if you want really quick. I can just plug the computer monitor one.
Yeah, we can try it.
Cool. All right. All right. So we'll end the voting right now. Adam will get his computer in. Here you go, sir. Take that one. It's a USB-C. Sorry.
Got it.
There we go. All right. Let's make sure his computer's up. Come on. Almost there. Okay, cool. You can pull up your giveaway tool.
Oh, is it not showing?
Is it not? Is it? Yeah, it's not showing me for some reason.
It might be doing the second monitor thing.
Oh, it might be. Okay. Give us 1 second. We're doing a giveaway, guys. We're having some fun. Promise. Just want to make sure this works. But while Adam's looking that up, actually, or while he's working on that, what I can do really quickly is I also wanted to show you a couple other elements from Frank here. So we're going to go hop back on the overhead. And I'm going to take off the actual jersey and show you a couple other things that are available or that were made on here. So this is a really, really cool one. This right here looks like a fake embroidered patch. However, this is actually a printable material that we call Color Print Aurora. So this is our Aurora printable, which is an eco-solvent. So if you have an eco-solvent solvent or a latex style printer, you can definitely use our printable products, which we have a lot of them here. And then underneath this is actually a couple layers of strip flock. That's that red outline that you see around there. And then the fake stitching that makes it look like it's faux stitch is actually just easy weed. Really easy, 3 product design that can give you something really cool. I see it up there. You're good now. And then let's go over the patch on the front. This one is one of my faves. I love this one. So this looks like strip flock itself. And Kortez, you can correct me, but I think it's strip flock brick. And then it looks like easy weed, eco stretch maybe. And then there's a little bit of pearl. Looks like either white opal electric. And then you also have the border. Looks like it's also done in electric too. But that one's really, really cool. All right. Ready to rock and roll? I'm up. We got shiny. All right. So we have 51 entries. Let's draw it. And the winner is Patrick Boyle. Watch Pat Boyle. Whoa, DB. Congratulations, DB. You are the lucky winner of not only the bag done with this technique, drawstring bag, but also lucky winner of, you can unplug yours, you're good. Lucky winner of the t-shirt that we just made on the live. So these ones right here, all I need you to do, and I know Adam will hop back into it in a second and pop it up for you on screen, is just send us an email to social@caesarna.com. So social@caesarna.com. All I need is either a home address or a business address. It just can't be a P.O. box. Okay, so if it's P.O. box, ask a neighbor maybe. But congratulations, DB. I know you've been coming to these for a while now, so it's really cool to be able to do a giveaway again. I feel like a lot of relief doing a giveaway because they're fun, but also I'm really happy that you won. So congratulations. All righty. Let's see. What else do we got, Adam? Do we got any other comments coming in before we wrap this up?
Let's see.
Actually, Anna, I think this might be yours. So I'm going to leave this down in the studio until tomorrow.
A lot of congratulations for D.
Nice. Yeah, congratulations.
But, from Raylene,
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing this process. I've been wanting to make this ever since I saw the jersey in Vegas.
That's awesome. Yeah, Kortez is hanging out at home right now, but next time he's in the office, I think Kortez, we need to make that video of the full process, especially for the jersey itself. Oh, because I failed to show you guys how to make the jersey. Can I show them the jersey for like 2 seconds? How to do the jersey itself? Okay, I want to make sure to show you guys this. So if anybody's left, I apologize. But if you're replaying right now, it's going to be okay. You'll be able to see this. So let me show you a quick and easy way to make a split jersey, especially with the current design that we already have to make all of these elements. So with a split jersey, you obviously have a large seam, all right, that runs down, that holds all your buttons, and then obviously holds this side. So what we need to do for this design is we need to actually create this overlap in our design itself so that when the jersey's closed, it looks like one image of the same. And then once it's open, it's not this weird like disconnect where it just kind of cuts off before the actual end of the natural garment or the natural part of the garment. So inside Leonardo, what we're going to do first for our garment is we always want to measure how wide this seam is, because right now this is the only part of our design that's going to be covered. What we're going to do in Leonardo is we're going to take our full design. We're going to add a split box on our design, which is not only going to separate this portion of our design at this side of our design, but what that will also do is cut out the center area for us. So what we can do is eliminate this whole section from the front part of our image and keep it in our back image. So I know that doesn't make sense necessarily explain that way, but let's get into Leonardo and I'll show you exactly how to do it. Oh, Adam, where's that? Can you grab me that? Oh, you're good. I gotta plug my computer back in now. You're good. All righty. Just giving my computer 1 second to load up. All right, we're good. So back in Leonardo, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eliminate these layers that we created earlier. I'm gonna take my full design and I'm just gonna simply add it all together. I'm not necessarily worried about what layers are showing up front or what layers aren't showing up front. The most important part is making sure that each piece of my design is in the correct order, but also in the correct layer order, because that will affect the overall design itself. So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything all layered together, and I'm just going to simply group it. And I can do that either by hitting Control-G or Command-G on Mac, or I can just use the right-click button on my mouse, and I can either group or ungroup my design. Okay, so just a quick little Leonardo tip for you. Now, what I'm going to do from there is I'm going to create the size of my design. So the total size or width that I want to make this first before we add the split. So for this portion of the design, I'm going to actually do this at 10 inches wide. And now we already know that we need to create that 2 by 2 inch shape. So I'm just going to make a really long line itself. And then I'm going to go down to my properties menu where my color wheel is. And I'm going to change the width. After I unlock it, I'm going to change my width to 2 inch. Okay, so now there is my 2 inch seam. This is actually probably less than that. So let's go 1.5. Okay, so this is going to represent my seam of my jersey itself. And then this is my actual design. We'll bring that to the front layer. So now you can see kind of how this will work all together. Now, what I want to do is I'm just going to basically center my seam and my design. I'm going to take this seam itself, or take this seam that I made. I'm going to bring this to the front layer, highlight everything all together, and we're going to go down and we're going to find the stamp keep option. Okay, and what that should do is that, oh, maybe I just did it wrong. Sorry. All right, there we go. Okay, we're going to do it this way. We'll do it manually. So I have my 2 inch box. I just realized I'm on the newest update. So there might be something in there. All right, so I'm going to take my box that I just created. I'm going to click my design, and I'm going to use this box as more of a reference point. So what I'm going to go down to is use my knife tool. And then what I can simply do is draw a line on this side of my box. Now I can select all of this portion of my design, so this side of my design. And then I'm going to take that same knife tool, and I'm just going to run it down this side of the design itself. So once I remove the seam, I now should have... See, is it split right? There's that side. And then I'm just trying to be careful so I catch everything. There we go. And that side of my design itself there. We'll get rid of that. So here's where you can see between these two pieces, this right here is where that main seam is. All I'm going to simply do is I'm going to take this portion of my design, so this part of the actual jersey, or the actual letters themselves, I'm going to bring those right up next to the center part where we just cut that seam out, and I'm going to simply take everything that'll fit on that side of the jersey, and I'm going to copy and paste. And I'm trying to do this slow too, because this will be one of those ones where you have to rewind and watch over again. But once I copy and paste, this is one side of my jersey. I can weld that together. Oh, not weld, sorry, group it together. So I have it. And then I'm going to basically eliminate this from the design. And now I have the actual back side of my design itself. Go ahead, Adam, sorry. I know I'm going like kind of confusing in a weird order, but trying to make sure that I'm explaining this as I'm doing it.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
Anna suggested going into wireframe.
Oh, yeah. You could always do that by using the hotkey W, which will also allow you to help you to align your layers as well. But yes. So there we go. So now I have this portion of my design that I can group together. So now I know that on either side of my seam, as we already know, that this side of my design will sit behind the seam, and that this side of my design will actually sit in front of the seam. Loosely, but there you go. So this right here just created the same exact effect as when we have the jersey. We have this side of our design, and then now we have what I would consider the seam part of our design itself, all created. Cool, cool. There's also too, Adam, if you could do me a favor really quick, find the YouTube link. There's also a YouTube link where I did a split jersey to show you all of this step by step and actually cutting each full layer out and then splitting it and then saving half of it for later too. So there's a couple different methods in that video itself. Sorry, what's up, Adam? I know you're, sorry, I thought you were about to say something.
Oh, would you be able to go over the knife method again?
Yeah,
And how you split that?
Yep, yeah, for sure. Okay, now that I've done it once all the way through, I could probably do it better this time. So give you guys a better representation of what this should look like. All right, all I'm doing, don't want to go that far. All I was doing is just splitting up all my layers. So go ahead and ungroup. This first layer right here is going to be my strip flock layer, and we're just going to make that black because the original one I used was white, just so you guys can see it on screen. This layer right here is that silver layer that we had, which is our Easy Puff metallic layer. This layer right here was our red Easy Weed electric. So let's change that back to red. And then this layer will remain exactly how it was. This is just that firelit holographic pearl layer that we have. So let me take that red layer though, move that up front. Cool. Alrighty, so first thing that we're gonna do, I'm just trying to organize this design to make sure all of these layers are lined up. And I'm only doing this on purpose because Anna said use wireframe and I don't want to. Don't laugh because she's gonna yell at us both. All right, cool. So there we go. So I have my full design. I'm going to group it together, make it really easy on myself. Let's go this way. And then what I'm going to do again is I'm going to create that 2 by 2 inch box itself that we created, or I'm sorry, that 2 inch box, but we decided to go to 1.5. So 1.5 inch wide because that's how big my seam is going to be. And then my overall design we did at 10 inches, not 1, 10 inches. There we go. Sorry, guys. I didn't go all the way back. Cool. There we go. So now we're going to bring our seam. We're going to bring our seam like right here. All right. So I have my seam centered with my actual Siser design. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to click on the Siser layer. So the physical design, we're going to click on this layer. And if you need the help too, what you can always do is bring the Siser layer forward because I really only need 2 points, top and bottom, to use for this method. So now what I'm going to do is use the knife tool. And I'm going to basically go from the top of this box all the way down to the bottom of that box. And that right there will split up that side of the actual design. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab what's left in my design. Oops, there we go. Let me do this there. Okay, got it. And then what I'm going to do is the same thing. Grab the knife tool. I can't even blame it on my computer being the reason why I'm messing this up right now. I'm just like off of it. Or, oh, gotta grab that piece, but we can eliminate that. Cool. So right there, here is my seam. And then here's the 2 pieces of my design itself. So what I'm basically going to do is I'm just going to make sure that this whole piece of my design is grouped together so everything moves in unison. I'm going to take this layer, this middle layer, which is, again, our seam of this design, and I'm going to duplicate that, and I'm just going to bring it underneath. And maybe this will actually help the explanation. So now I'm going to take my back end of my word, and I'm just going to line that up with this portion, make sure that those two marry well. Cool, cool. Probably do a little bit more justice. There we go. And then I'm going to group those together, and then I'm going to simply take this one, add it back into my design, group those together, and now I have the back half of my seam, which this would be, if this was the front of my jersey, this would be the back half of my design, and then this right here to meet it, which would be the front half or the front portion of my jersey itself. So when I pull the seam away, it's all one design, but if I were to lower one side, you can see that we've taken elements from both parts of this design so that when we ultimately make the jersey and we layer each of these, we'll be able to layer them in order a little bit easier. Cool, cool. All right. Any other questions that we got coming in?
Here's from Cynthia. How do I get the side panels in Leonardo into the dark mode?
Side panels in Leonardo into the dark mode. I don't know that one. I don't know. Like the side panels in Leonardo are they're the same. I don't know that there's a light and a dark version of them. Yeah, as far as I know, this is just how Leonardo looks. So if yours doesn't, reach out to us. Pop up the support one, but reach out to us at support@CaesarNA. Let's take a look and see what you're working with. And if you're not using, what did she say specifically, Leonardo? Okay, I just want to make sure. Yeah, as far as I know, that's how it's always been. I don't know that we've done any light or dark, but Tony Spumoni, we should do a light and dark mode. That would be fun. Oh, if you're talking about the grid, though, itself, I know you were saying something about the panel, but you can take the grid on screen and change that to a grayscale by opening up your artboard and cutting mat panel and then hitting dark background. So let me, really quick, hold on. There you go. So artboard cutting mat menu, and then just select dark background. All right. Did you get clarification on that one or no? Okay, that's okay.
Another question though, do you need to weld back the layers? Will it leave a weird line where it was sliced?
Do you need to weld? Oh, no. So the only reason it left the weird line is I needed to literally tick it one more time over. I will say this, what I would do after I'm done in these is I would just ungroup it and just add those layers and add those individual color layers, weld those together. Okay, but only reason I did it this way is just to show you the split, show you it fast. So I just didn't put it together all the way. But if you put it together all the way, group them together, and then what you do is ungroup that full design, and you can layer just the color layers together. It'll eliminate any lines, so you won't get a weird cut too when you actually go to cut this out. Any other big questions coming in? Cool, and I think DB already emailed us too.
Oh, cool.
So we already got that info. Cool. Awesome. Well, guys, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Big shout out to Kortez on this design. This is an awesome one. Big shout out to you on that one. And I got a text this morning for this live from our buddy Johan as well. So big shout out to you, buddy. Love you. Hope everything's going good today with you. And until next time, guys, we're going to be doing another one of these in a couple weeks. We'll be doing Wednesday. What did we decide on for that one? That was mixed media and DTF, right? I think it was. Okay, cool. That one's going to be fun because that's all DTF and mixed media. So now, and Roseanne, you can't say anything, Roseanne, in this one because you've been to the show, so you got to see all these techniques. But now that we have easy transfers and a DTF solution, you guys need to definitely make sure that you send us an email to info@CaesarNA.com so you know how to get your hands on some of those. I know if Ellie May's in here, she can definitely shout out her thing. Oh, I see Estevan. Hey, Estevan. What's up, babe? But with that said, there's a lot of really fun stuff. So I'm excited about the DTF and mixed media, showing you guys how to elevate. And speaking of Estevan, you can go over to All American Print Supply over to their channel because S and I have done some videos at trade shows and around trade shows showing you this technique and showing you different ways that you can apply both of these worlds. We're all living and playing in the sandbox and having fun together. But if that's it, we got no more comments, no more questions. We'll give Anna like 30 seconds if she has a comment just to chime in really quick. What's up?
She did mention it's not just DTF, it's easy transfers DTF.
It's easy transfers DTF. That's what it is. And it's a great service and it gives you a lot of opportunity. So we're really excited about that. Cool. If that's it, let's get ready to throw all the social things up. But you guys already know, you find us on all platforms. If you're watching the replay, you're already on YouTube. So welcome. Make sure that you subscribe down below. Make sure that you follow us over on TikTok. Make sure that you follow us over on the Facebook. We got an awesome Facebook support group, the Siser North America support. Thank you so much, S. I appreciate it. He dropped the link to that video. Make sure that you like, subscribe, follow them as well because they're awesome sauce. But also, if you guys have any questions, you can reach out to us at info@siserna.com. If you ever have any troubles with any of your heat transfer material, your easy transfers, your software, your everything under the sun, you can always reach out to us as well at support@siserna. And I know our awesome team upstairs can take care of you, Pam and Carolyn and Tracy. And I mean, the whole team. It's a whole team effort here. It's a big, happy family that we love to death, and we're excited for the future together. All right, guys. Well, until next time, we love you. Stay creative. Bye, everybody.